Hey, what's up, everybody? Abram Gonzalez here with the beautiful Nikki Magdalena. Welcome.
Hello.
Hey, thanks for coming out to our hangout today. We got some really big stuff going on in the next 90 days. We want you to be a part of it. First thing I want to know though is how's our sound going? Can you guys put a comment below the page here? Let us know how the sound is. We got people like mowing the lawn. Sometimes
Some kind of truck.
Sometimes your outdoor office can get a little bit noisy. We want to make sure that you guys can hear. Otherwise, maybe we will have to change things and get inside. So let us know, hey, are you here? Are you ready to go? Let us know how the noise is. Comment below. Maybe you could open up the page and see what the comments are, because I actually can't see them right now on my screen.
Okay.
So how you guys doing? Who's with us? I can't move over.
Oh, okay. All right, sorry.
I'm trapped. I can't go anywhere. Okay. might want to mute us there. Okay, cool.
Sounds good to Lori.
Lori's here. Who else is here?
There's a bunch of people here.
So who's excited? Today on the hangout, we're gonna teach you guys. We're gonna share with you guys the plan. Right. I just got back from a weekend of the plan.
Like this? I can't do it very well. It looks really cheesy when I try to do it. But like the plan.
The plan. You look like the guy. You look like Kevin from Shark Tank. When you go like this and you're like, yeah. So what is that? He has a. Our French bulldog's running around, by the way. It's getting crazy. It's getting crazy.
How'd you even find that?
I don't even know where that tennis ball came from.
He just manifested a tennis ball out of thin air. Miracles are already happening, you guys.
Already. So hey guys, welcome aboard. This hangout has the potential to, I believe, completely alter the course of your entire future. And I know that's a bold claim, but it's one that I'm prepared to back up. Because I just spent a weekend in New Orleans with the founder of the Empower Network, the company that we work with, and so many of you that are watching right now, and maybe you're just taking a look in to see what this crazy long-haired hippie-looking dude and his beautiful, enjoyable other are up to. What did these kids do to earn over almost $250,000 on the internet in the last 18 to 19 months, right? And by the way, we're going to be talking about money on this hangout. We're going to be talking about extraordinary amounts of money, right? And so for that reason, I want you to know that, because they are extraordinary, our results are not average. They are not typical, right? If you want typical, I suggest you do two things. One, you go get a job. Two, you leave the hangout now because this isn't going to be for you. And I'm going to add a third one, right? And the third one is there's a link below this page where you can actually view the average earnings of an Empower Network affiliate, right? If you want to be average, I suggest you go check those out now. So that being said, we're going to be talking about income. We're going to be talking about how and why Nikki and I are going to be doing $250,000, effectively doubling the results we've had in the last 18 or 19 months in just 90 days.
So just shy of $250,000 in 18 months.
Correct.
Now we're going to create $250,000 in 90 days.
That's correct.
Okay.
That's
yes.
Correct. That's correct. And the reason
I like saying $250,000.
It sounds so good.
It sounds sexy. You guys, doesn't $250,000 sound a little sexier than when you say 250,000? $250,000. It's hot.
Yeah. So check this out. The reason that we're inviting you here is not because we want to talk about all day about how we're going to do $250K in 90 days, right? We're going to do that because we want to show you what's possible, right? We're going to do that because we believe in stretching beyond where we currently are to create the life of our dreams, right? Right now we're living the life of our dreams from 3 years ago, right? From 3 years ago. We've been talking about this time that we're in right now. We're going to be talking to you a little bit about what we've been able to enjoy with running a business on the internet. But most importantly, we want to talk to you about how we want to bring you along for the ride, right? About how you fit in to this huge vision, right? Because Zig Ziglar, I believe it's Zig Ziglar, said something really important and really special. He said, if you help enough people get what they want, you'll ultimately get what you want. Right? And so last year was huge for us in getting what we want, right? Because let's be real, it's hard to be of service and it's hard to help other people when all you can think about is how the heck you're going to pay the next bill. Or who's going to take care of my kid, after school when I'm busy at work, right? You're worried about how you're going to be able to create your vision after you spent 40 hours this week working on creating somebody else's vision at a regular job, right?
Or like I was helping others create their vision for free without charging any money.
This is true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like if you're a coach or you've done some sort of transformational facilitation work, whatever you want to call it, it's like I think a lot of life coaches change their titles all the time. Now I'm a catalyst, now I'm a change agent, now I'm a, you just like, if I could find the right title, I'll be rich,
Yeah.
And it's like I realized at some point that I was giving away 20 hours a week, if not more than that, essentially, giving away my services, coaching my friends of friends for free. And that was helping build their dream for their lives to transform while I was, not doing really well. I was what they say broke as a joke.
But not funny.
It's
really not funny.
It's pretty painful. It's pretty painful. And I actually haven't been this excited about what Abram's going to be sharing today. Like, I haven't been this excited since you told me your new vision, and we're united in the same vision since we started the business. And the thing is, when you're struggling and you finally break free, you sort of, like for us anyway, you just sort of want to relax, because poverty and struggle is a lot harder than crossing the poverty tracks and actually feeling that sense of ease and peace that you can have when you just sort of break out of this certain matrixed reality that our collective consciousness is throbbing with. It's like, struggle in this economy. How are you doing in this economy? Well, this economy is so bad right now. Oh, now we have now it's going up a little, but now it's going way down, and now we're all in trouble again. And there's so much of this, so many of these thought forms going around, so many of these emotions going around. Even just when I go driving to the grocery store, I can feel the stress that people have. It's coming out of their cars. You can just sort of feel it.
You can see it on their face.
You can see it on their face. You can see it on their face. So, when we created, and Abram, maybe you'll talk more about this, the first 90 days we did work hard, and hard is relative, right? Because is it harder than being a farmer and getting up at the crack of dawn and working until sunset, which I've actually done a little bit of volunteer farming, and I'm like, whoa, this is pretty.
She's done basically every job on the planet up until this point, like bike messenger, farmer. This one's a new one to me. I haven't heard the farmer story from her yet.
Yeah.
She just keeps, surprising
I volunteered at an organic farm for a few weeks, and I lived there, and it was like, you just get up and you start working, and then you take like an hour lunch, and then you work until sunset, basically, and then you have dinner and you go to sleep, it's like, that's pretty much it. And it's back-breaking work, it's really hard. So, was it as hard as that, or as many hours as that? No. But was it harder? I think when we say hard work, it's because you are that butterfly that's coming out of the cocoon, and it's just so uncomfortable, and you're just like, whoa, like, I've never allowed myself to truly go for it, to truly do whatever it takes to have the financial freedom that I desire. And so once we were willing to do that, it's like, it didn't matter how many hours we had to put in, it didn't matter who we needed to talk to, it didn't matter how many videos we had to do, how many blogs we had to do, how many emails we had to do, we're just willing to do it. So, if you look at an airplane, the most energy that an airplane uses and the most fuel that it uses is when it's taking off. And then once it's up and it's at a certain altitude, it's like, it's kind of more like coasting. So that's the same way with your business. So anyway, we were struggling I was struggling for years, and Abram, we just met, and we were both in a pretty broke place. And once we had reached that altitude, we're like, we just want to coast for a while. Like, this feels so good. Like, we want to just hang out. And in a way, we've been coasting off of that first initial
60 or 90 days, 180 days, 3-6 months, something like that.
Right. Like, for the past year and a half. I mean, in what business can you do that? Where you really can just go, okay, now we're going to relax. Like, we've kind of maintained our business, but we haven't really grown it. And, Abram went to New Orleans this weekend. I didn't go for health reasons, but he went this past weekend, and I said, we said we want to go big. We want to go to 7 figures, essentially, in the long run. And And he came back. I said, "Will you come back, my millionaire man?" You know, and he's like, "Hell yeah, well, you know." So he came back, and he was a different man, and that's what I love about our relationship. So now we're gonna share that with you, our new vision, and it's just time for us to, you know, we just feel we're inspired now. You know, we're not in like barely getting by. You know, you have so much more inspiration when you're beyond that initial like that survival state. You know, so now Avram, like you're saying, it's not just about us and our freedom. It's like now we know what it takes, and now we can help others achieve freedom. And I think that's, you know, and if you've been with us for a long time, you know, we've spoken to like. I think at one point we said we want to help people get to this amount of money per month, and then we realized, well, the outcome is freedom, and that's what we really want to be talking about, because freedom is different for every person, and for some people that's another $2,000 a month that would allow them to leave their job. You know, for some people that's $5,000, for some people that's $10,000. So we're going to talk about that, but Abram, is there anything else that you wanted me to say about like our struggle too, or?
Well, we're going to get into that.
Yeah.
I want to share a little bit more with you guys about where we've come from. Really showing you that it doesn't matter where you are right now.
Yeah.
You can still have crazy, phenomenal results. I'm going to share with you some stories that we've had, some experiences that we've had with people that we've directly worked with, some that we haven't as well, in order to show you that if you make a decision today, your life can be completely different in the next 90 days. And I fully believe that because of the experience that we have gone through. So just to set things straight before we get started, here is what you're going to get today by hanging out with us and sticking with us till the end. We're going to keep this at about 60 minutes, probably more like 75 minutes. So we got about an hour left together for us to give you the following information. Okay, for us to give you the following information. This is stuff that I've learned from hanging out with some of our new millionaire mentors. You know, it's stuff that I've learned by reading good books and applying the principles inside of them. It's stuff that I've learned, you know, just from the experience that we've had together in the last 18 months, literally going from, like Nikki said, a moldy 2-bedroom house with a landlord that was sneaking in to sniff through her underwear drawer while we were on vacation. Talk about creepy.
Yeah.
Right? Feeling trapped by that situation because we didn't have the financial resources at the time to get out of it, and literally changing that within the course of about 30 days. Right? That happened to us, and it was about 30 days between that happening to us and us making our way out of that, I would say, almost dangerous situation. Into a new home, into a new place where we weren't worried about the money, worried about the bills, into a place that I knew that she would be safe. Not my family. She's my family, right? Where she would be safe and taken care of. And I know that's one of the things that many people strive to have in their life, right? So here's the things that we're going to give you today. Okay, we're going to go through 6 things. We've already started touching on the first one, which I'll tell you about in a second. 6 things that are really required for you to become a part of this journey, right? For you to create whatever it is that your outcome is. You know, I told the people on our team who are watching right now, what's up, guys?
You guys are awesome.
You guys are awesome. That before you come here, I want you to be thinking about what your targets would be, right? Where is it you would like to be in 90 days from now if you knew a life without limits, right? If you had no history.
No reference points to the past of what I have or haven't done.
If you were able to completely erase the slate where like your past and your history and start today fresh, as if you were a newborn child, not knowing about the world, and just having that open mind, right? That's where the magic happens. You know, it's sort of like ignorance on fire, if you know what I mean. If you've ever been just on fire and making progress in your life, it doesn't come from having some sort of like knowledge or secret strategy, right? It comes from like a decision. And from what we've experienced, having no experience in this like network marketing, direct selling industry, able to create massive results. So we're going to teach you the framework, the 6 different things that will take you through the process for the next 90 days with us. We're going to be coaching you through this, mentoring you through this, and sharing with you now the start. These 6 things will help you get free, okay? But you got to follow them. You got to pay attention now, and you got to listen and stick with us, right? Because we're going to show you from experience how to do this. You're going to see it transform in front of your eyes over the next 90 days. We're sort of putting ourselves out on a limb right now, right? We could end up embarrassed in 90 days because we fell short, right? But guess what? Guess what? That's why we're saying it now, because we fully believe that we won't fall short. We know that by saying it now and speaking the world in front of you puts us on the line. It makes us accountable not only to you, but to the universe, to God, whatever it is that you believe in. It's happening. It's now. It's starting today, right? So we're going to touch on those 6 things here. We're also going to teach you and show you how you can become a part of our elite mastermind, our elite inner circle over the next 90 days. We'll be working closely with the individuals who are serious, who are ready to have some fun, who are ready to leave their past behind, who are ready to create a new future that perhaps you didn't really see as possible before. Maybe it was just something fluttering around in your awareness that you've always wanted but never knew how to connect the dots.
And this is new. We haven't done this before.
Correct.
Is totally new. If you've been on our team, you have never heard of this because it's the first time that we're talking about it.
Yeah. And speaking of connecting the dots, that's how we're going to wrap up our time together today, right? Spent the weekend, like Nikki said, in New Orleans at the last company event. Big things are happening, right? Things are about to explode in a huge way, and I know this team is ready to go, right? I know the people watching this right now, they're ready to go. I spoke with the company owner, David Wood, and a couple of the other millionaire earners in this company, and learned some things this weekend that we're going to be applying now that will have huge, massive results, not only in our business, but yours as well, right? So if you get in, you plug in, you pay attention, you can come with us, right? Can we guarantee it? No, because we don't know if you're going to be ready to put in the same kind of work.
Or if you're too skeptical to even be open enough to do the work that's required. You know, it's like, it's one thing. There's some people on the team saying, and hey, you know, I think there's a person that hasn't joined yet, and he's like, I'm very, very skeptical, you know, and Abram, what do you have to say to somebody who's very, very skeptical? And there are other teammates who say, hey, I was at first too.
You know what? It's like you can't really change people's minds.
Yeah.
You know, and we were skeptical for about a year.
That's true.
Before we joined with this company, this vision.
And nobody could change our mind. Yep. Nobody could change our mind.
We had a lot of people approach us, say, hey, you guys would crush it here. You guys would be great, blah, 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 blah. And we were like, we were skeptical, right? We thought, is this just some, like, making money scam? Does this thing really work? Mm-hmm. You know, like what is this thing really about? And we didn't get it, right, until we showed up physically at an event. That's the first thing.
Right.
But secondly, we also didn't get it until we just got in. Right? Sometimes it's like seeing is believing. Sometimes you just have to see things because when you're looking on the outside, it's difficult to understand what's really going on.
Mm-hmm. And is your dream worth it enough to you to set aside your skepticism? You know what I'm saying? It's like, because you can remain. It's one thing to like investigate. I want to have enough information, but if you remain skeptical, too skeptical, which also has an energy of suspicion. You know, you're just always, it's like if I'm the kind of person that is just always suspicious that everyone around me is going to betray me and turn their backs on me, and they're all just people, nobody has my back. I'm just, you know, I meet you and I go, you seem like a nice person, but I'm skeptical. You know what I mean? It's like,
it was intense.
Yeah, it's intense, right? Because it's like skeptical can be an intense energy, and it's like, you know, just I would just look at, well, does that really work for me? Is that going to allow me to have my dream, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, for us, I think we went, you know what, let's just set aside the skepticism, because right now we needed to get out of something, which was not only financial stuff, but, you know, working for people that were controlling us and controlling our time and the decisions we were making. You know, even you think that because you're an entrepreneur, that if you have clients that you're your own boss, but then you have like 10 bosses. You know, but maybe you're still not getting paid enough. So we had all these bosses that were controlling us, and you know, we're just like, we really want freedom. We want that time freedom. We want to be able to do what we want to when we want to, and you know, we actually, it's almost like until we were willing to just drop our barriers a little bit, we wouldn't even look at the information on the website. We wouldn't actually watch any video fully. We wouldn't actually truly, okay, let's look in the back office. We wouldn't actually look at it. So once we're willing to set that aside, drop our barriers, and then open the door, see what's on the other side, then we could see what's on the other side.
Correct. We started looking for reasons that it would work instead of reasons that it wouldn't work.
Exactly.
And you'll always find whatever it is that you're looking for.
Exactly.
That's the way things work. You'll always find whatever it is that you're looking for. Your mind is programmed to do that. Right? So Nikki's already sort of touched on the first thing that comes into creating the life of your dreams. Okay. And by the way, if you're enjoying this, if you're resonating with what we're saying right now, it would be a good time to share this page with your friends on Facebook, Twitter, Google Plus, whatever it is, because they're missing out on information that could change their lives.
And maybe take a selfie with it. You know, like hashtag selfie on a hangout. You know, like I don't know. You know, I'm just watching this cool thing. Pictures always attract people more.
So if you haven't shared it yet, especially if you're part of our team, go ahead and click the share buttons now. Share this out with people. Right? This is information people need to know. Right? This is the same information that we were looking for when we were in that moldy little house. Right? So the first piece, right? The first, and I would say the most important piece, and it's hard to say that because I think all of these steps are so important, but this is really where it begins. This is what will carry you through the rest of what we're about to share, right? And that is desire, right? So maybe you write this down for reference. Desire. If you don't have a burning desire for what it is that you would like to have, if you don't have a burning desire to change your life, it won't happen, right? It won't happen. You know, some of you might know my story a little bit, and it's that, well, I have a story of addiction, and I also have a story of where I felt stuck for an entire summer, but I think some of you will resonate with the addiction piece. You know, I spent like 6 years smoking pot every single day, right? Go figure. People still think I'm like some stoner hippie, and it's like I don't touch that stuff anymore. You know, I got my kicks. You know, it was good for when it was, and you know what got me hung up there was, even though I wanted to quit, I would like take a break for a week or 2 weeks, or even like I even think I took like a 3-month break. But I would still come back to Mary Jane, you know? And it's like, why couldn't I quit? Why couldn't I just put the joint down and call it a day? It's because I didn't really have a desire or a reason to quit, you know? And the long story short is I met Nikki. And in that moment, I knew that there was only room for one woman in my life, right? It was either her or Mary Jane, you know? And Mary Jane and I had some fun together. But it was time for that chapter to close because Mary Jane had been really sucking my soul, really been taking away from the relationships and other things that I was doing at the time. And so it was in that moment that I realized this is what I would like. I would like for her to be a part of my life. She didn't tell me, Abram, you got to quit. She didn't even say anything to me about my addiction, even though she knew it was going on. But I knew in every fiber of my being that there was not room for the both of them, and I was going to lose her as fast as I'd found her if I didn't give up my habit, right? She became my burning desire to quit smoking pot, right? I quit cold turkey. We're good to go. I had a big enough reason why, and that drove everything for the subsequent years that we've gone through together, you know?
How many years have you been clean now?
Like 3 years.
Yeah.
So that's just what can happen when you actually have the desire. If you don't have that, you will never, you can set as many targets, as many goals and stuff as you want, you will never get there if you don't have that burning desire. Period.
So
end of story.
If somebody doesn't know what they desire, like in their business and in their, not just in their business, but in their life, like, it's a simple question. I mean, just write it down and just really maybe do some journaling. Like, what do I really desire, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, if
what is it that you can't stand to lose?
Right.
That's another thing. It's like, you want to put a fire under your butt? What is it you can't stand to lose? You know, are you having a hard time thinking about your daughter going to daycare while you're at work? Does that break your heart that you won't be able to see her first steps? You know what I'm saying? You know, is it that thing that kills you, where you wake up every day and by the time you get home, you're so burned out and tired, all you can do is sit in front of the TV and just hang out. And nothing's ever changing for you. You know, one of the easiest things you can do to motivate yourself is to find that thing that you can't stand to lose and go from there. So if this is speaking to you, I want to hear in the comments below. Maybe you can check, what is the one thing that you can't stand to lose, friends? What is the one thing that you can't stand to lose? Let's get clear on this. Let's get clear, because if you're not clear on this, the rest of this hangout will evade you. The information will not work for you. Okay? You have to get clear. What is it that you can't stand to lose? You know, it can be a little thing, right?
Do you want people to actually write that?
I want you to write in the comment section below this video, what is it that you can't stand to lose? Let us know, right? Let the world know. This is where you begin your 90-day journey. This is where you begin the 90-day run. If you want to come with us, right? How you play right now will have a big bearing, right? It will say a lot about what you're willing to do and what you're not willing to do. Because most people are just standing around watching and waiting. You think, I'm just not going to comment and stuff. And that's the exact equivalent of you saying, you know what, I'm not going to show up today, right? I'm not going to show up today. So show us that you're here, that you want to be a part of this run, right? We're helping 10 people get free in the next 90 days.
I think some people, I'm wondering if we could reframe the question, because I think maybe for some people their brains are kind of like, wait, what I can't stand to lose? Maybe it's like what I can't stand anymore.
What you can't stand to lose or what you can't stand anymore. That's beautiful.
If that's not as easy of a question to answer, what I can't stand to lose, maybe it's because like for Abram, you know, he couldn't stand to lose me, and that was more valuable to him than smoking pot.
Correct.
So he needed something to come in to his life that was more valuable than the pot as like a motivator.
Yep.
You know, and then he just simply knew, like, if I continue, I'm going to lose her. I can't. It's not even an option. It's not even an option. But maybe it's also something you can't stand anymore.
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, I just can't stand blah, 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 blah. You know, I just can't stand not being able to go on the vacations that I want anymore, or I just can't stand not being able to go to any transformational class that I want to go to. You know, maybe you're into healing or body work or, you know, consciousness. I mean, whatever you're into, maybe you just can't, maybe you can't afford to do the stuff that you really want to do, and you just can't stand that anymore. Like, what really gets you kind of in the gut that you're just like, I just can't stand this anymore?
Yeah, and you know what we couldn't stand when we started here with this company was the fact that other people were trying to control us and tell us what we should and what we shouldn't do.
Right.
It's like I was working for somebody, you know, who I was helping manage.
Hold on a second. I want you to tell this story, but I want to call some people out, because we've got Edward participating, Linda Hobson participating, Leslie Peabody participating, Marianne Tilton is here, Susan Prune is here, Sandy Levesque, Brittany, all these people who are here, Don Schmidt. So I'm going to challenge all of you, Mary Montaigne, what's up, Mary? All of you amazing people to participate. Yeah. And we've said this before, half of success is showing up, and the other part is taking action. If you know, us doing this public declaration of we're going to make $250K in 90 days, you know what it takes? It takes courage, and it takes vulnerability. So we're being vulnerable. We're actually being vulnerable with you in saying this is our goal. You know, this is our target. Because you know why it takes vulnerability? Because there's always that chance. Everybody's gonna, if you set an outlandish goal or whatever, you know, there's that small part that's gonna go, well, can I really do that? You know, or maybe I'm afraid and then I said it to everybody. So as long as I keep it secret, the secret's safe with me. Yep. And by remaining safe, that's how you remain in your comfort zone. And that's where in your comfort zone is where you die. Yeah. And your comfort zone is where your dream dies with you. So we're asking you to do this not for us just because we want some cool comments in the chat roll. We're asking you to do this for yourself as a facilitation. If you can let others witness you in this tribe, in this community, that you're willing to say that and just you know, speak to that piece that, you know, man, I just can't stand this part. I bet you that it's gonna it can transform your life if you're willing to receive that. So we've already got some people rolling in, and okay, Mary Montaigne, can't stand not to be traveling to the ocean. I hear you, sister. I hear you. Let me tell you, I hear you. You know, one of our next dreams is to be able to have like maybe a home in Colorado and maybe somewhere else, because I love the ocean. Whoa,
I was like, it's like 3 bees just like, wow.
They're just excited.
They are excited.
So
sorry about that.
Can't stand not to be traveling to the ocean. Yeah, I bet you're not the only one, Mary. I bet you're not the only one. And I definitely know that feeling. And you know, thanks to Empower, we've been able to travel to the ocean. So yeah, thank you for sharing that, sister. And you know, the cool thing is when you share what you can't stand, that can also become a vehicle for you to attract new people, to attract you know, to hone in on your target market, which we won't really go into here, but you need to write that down somewhere. You know, so maybe by saying I can't stand not traveling to the ocean, maybe you write that on a Post-it, and then you write, you surround yourself with pictures of the ocean, and that's part of your goal when you talk about your 90-day goal. Maybe you set that 90-day goal that you're going to go take a trip to the ocean, and it's going to be a week long, and it's going to look like this. Okay.
Yep. And there's a reason we're spending the most time here, because it is the most important. Everything starts here.
Yeah.
Right.
Linda Hobson says, can't stand to lose staying home, being a stay-at-home mom. So what would you have to say to that, Abram?
Awesome.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that.
Beautiful.
You and so millions of mothers out there. So how many mothers can you help, including yourself? Can't stand not to buy new clothes anymore. Lori, let me tell you, girl, I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you about that, because it's not fun to be just, what I used to do before we did Empower is like, there's this friend that would have these trash and treasure events where these women would come and they would dump their clothes on the floor, and we'd all ransack through them, and the rest they would do to give to charity. And that's cool. Like, I love, it's like a fun day with the girls. But when you have to do that because you don't even have the choice, and you have to go to Salvation Army, and you have to go to TJ Maxx all the time. I still go to TJ Maxx, but I also shop at Nordstrom Rack now. Like, it's such a great feeling, and my body feels so much better, like, being able to buy nice stuff.
Well, and it killed me not being able to buy you nice stuff.
Yeah, that was not cool either. And then Edward, can't stand not being able to do what I want when I want, period.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's a big
what
one.
Lori's talking about, can't stand having debt, right? Having that hanging over your head all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I know what that feels like.
Mm-hmm.
I put on $100,000 in student loan debt in 2 years, right? 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna be paying that whole thing off this year, finally.
Mm-hmm.
Because now we have the ability to do that. Man, talk about stressing you out, right? Having those payments due, yeah, big time.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, like, I think we think our issues are so unique, and then we write them out and we realize, like, so many people have this struggle,
Yeah.
And then Sandy Levesque says, I can't still having my student debts and having it on my back. I can always feel it and can't stand seeing my cousins and kids' friends doing the same thing and creating the same limitations.
Yeah.
Can't. And then I think we've got some. Oh, I also can't stand not being able to just get on a private jet and fly my dog around the world. Sandy, we know now, traveling with a pet is a nightmare, and, there's so many animals that just die in the cargo. It's horrible. So I hear you. And then...
Hey, thanks for sharing with us, guys. It takes a vulnerability to share that openly.
Yep.
And like Nikki said, I think this is going to be a facilitation for people. This is that moment that everything changes.
I'm going to say one more. Can't stand hiding anymore.
Yeah, can't stand hiding anymore. That's a big one, right? If you're not willing to be seen in the world, it's really hard to receive money. It's really hard to receive gifts. It's really hard to receive the cool things that are out in this world that you can have, right? So this is huge. This is huge. This desire, right? Like Nikki said, I think it would be helpful if you wrote this down. What is your desire? What is the reason that you're here? What is the reason that you're going to be running with us for the next 90 days? We know what it is now, right? We know what it is now. We're looking to help more people. Like, we're really tired of seeing people struggle, right? Poverty is like this crazy thing that plagues the world, and from where we've been, we now realize it was a choice. It was a choice for us to be, in near poverty and having a hard time paying our bills and eating peanut butter sandwiches for like 2 days straight until I got paid again from my dad's dry cleaner, right? I used to work at my dad's dry cleaner just a few years ago. That's the last like real like job I had. But I want to get to the next point here. And I want to get to the next.
Yes.
I think it's good. I want to get to the next point here, right? And it's going to kind of speed up here because that first part is the most important. I found myself in a situation about 1.5 years ago, right before we started with Empower Network, like you might be getting started now, right? By the way, if you want to come have fun with us, just click the button below here. Click that big join button, fill out the form, put your stuff in, and join us, right? Join us. We'd love to have you. We'd love to have you along for the run. But anyway, about 1.5 years ago, I was working for somebody who, in the name of consciousness, was creating workshops around the world, blah, 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 blah. I was doing their social media, this big organization. I believed in their vision. And I was sort of blindsided one day. I got this phone call. It was right after we started with the Empower Network. And I got this phone call from, one of the founders of this organization. And he said, Abram, I can't have you doing this Empower Network thing and working with me at the same time, right? If you're doing Empower Network, it's like you're working against me.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I have ideas about what that might have really been about, and I'm not sure exactly what it is. But the point of it, and what I realized in that moment was, this person wasn't truly interested in seeing me fly and have the ability to choose whatever I wanted to choose, right?
Yeah.
They wanted to control me and what I was doing.
They're more interested in you being dependent on the income that you were getting from them, so they could always control you and steer you,
Yeah.
rather than you really being able to fly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the other piece is like they didn't even really investigate it. It was like I think they like thought that you created it. Like when they thought that he like created this empire named Empower Network. You know what I mean? And you know, there was no real let's look into this. You know, and the interesting thing is when Abram got the products, he was like. I remember him coming out of his bedroom, or our bedroom at it was.
We shared a bedroom.
We shared a bedroom, but I had my own other little bedroom. So he came out and he was like, that just beep blew my mind, you know. And he was like, that is the best like marketing stuff I've ever seen. And now I'm going to take what I'm learning here and share it with this company. So it's like we believed in their vision, he believed in their vision. He was so excited that, oh my gosh, you know, like the tools here are so amazing.
People can really benefit from this.
I'm gonna even do better social media for them and help them like spread their, you know, workshops around the world even more. And instead of them actually being excited, he got that phone call. You know, and that's when we were like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
We don't desire to be controlled like this.
And it reminded me of the time when I walked into my first few interviews. And they always ask me the same question when I graduated from college. They're like, so, if we hire you, would you shave your beard and cut your hair? And I was like, thinking to myself, well, I'll say yes, so like hopefully I can get the job, but also saying in the back of my mind, like, this sucks, man. I feel like my hair and me wanting to grow a beard is a part of like who I am, and it's a choice that I enjoy to make. And yet people are putting like these stipulations on me. And it reminded me of that point. And so what did I do at the time? I said, screw this. We're going all in with this Empower Network thing. We're going to make it work. Mm-hmm. Sorry, dude. You need to figure out your own shit. We're going to go make it happen. We're going to build our dreams. I don't care what you think about what we're doing. We're going now. Right? And that brings us to number 2. Right? Number 2 in this process is we made a decision.
That's enough.
This is enough. We are done. No more control. We're having it all. We're doing it our way. And nobody's going to control us anymore. And that's what we get to enjoy now. So I made the decision. I made the decision to join. And Nikki was very supportive. She wasn't yet a part of what we were doing here with Empower Network and this vision here. She wasn't yet a part of it, but she supported me. She said, I think this is great. Go for it. I believe in you. You can do this. And so we cut all ties. We burned the ships, you know, and we just went. Right? We just went with it. And
somebody said that they got fired from their job because they're an Empower Network.
Ooh.
Yeah.
See, and it's
then
like
someone else reminds me of my soon-to-be ex-husband controlling, not liking me. And yeah.
See, and that's the thing. That's the thing that happens, my friends, is when you go big, you know, and people can see that you're about to take off, they will do anything they can to try to hold on to you, right? They're like the crabs in the bucket, right? You ever heard that? When the one crab tries to get out of the bucket, all the other crabs grab it and they pull it back down, right? People are like that too, you know, and you don't know why they do it, but they do it, right? And so it's like there are these people that they see your potential. They see that you have the possibility of going big. They see that you're about to outgrow them and start living the life of your dreams, and they don't like it. Why? Because they will make them feel bad for not choosing a life of infinite possibility. Do you get that? They'll actually feel bad about themselves and start judging themselves because you made a choice. Right? You're like equals right now, right? Right? That's why you're friends. Most people like you to be
equal limitations.
Equal limitations, right? You make a choice to go beyond that, they start feeling bad and judging themselves for where they're at, right? For them not choosing.
And they start also getting upset because now all the things that they've suppressed and that they don't have to look at are coming to the surface.
Yeah.
You know, and because you just invalidated their excuses. Because as long as you're living your limited life, they can put you in a box and make sense of it. You know, if you have a limiting point of view about, well, this economy is the way it is, and they're like, yeah, this economy is so this is why our lives are like this, and then you choose to create your own economy using the Empower system, and you start to break free of the economy that everybody else is sort of a slave to, then all of a sudden they're like, whoa, 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 you're not supposed to be able to do that because of the economy. You must be a scam artist. You must be, you know, you must be doing a scam. Well, it's like this whole the economy being the way it is a scam in itself, you know? And I won't go into all the weird, you know, it's like these days it's like anytime you think something's off about the government, you're a conspiracy theorist, you know what I mean? I think it's spreading more and more and more, thank God for social media, where people are like, yeah, there's some fucked up shit going on with like Monsanto and all these different things. But it's like, you know, even just a few years back, it's like, well, I don't trust the government. Whoa, what are you, one of those conspiracy theorists, you know? So it's like that's what people are doing now, because with like, you know, something like Empower is so different. You know, it's like the first company of its kind, really. It's like this hybrid. Nobody else has done it, and it is, you know, it's even bringing up stuff for, you know, the marketing industry and people in the industry. So, you know, for you guys to still be here, I'm speaking to our team. You're all very courageous. If you're here and you're sticking around and you're going to join us in the it is going to take something inside of you that maybe you haven't known that you had, or you know that you have, but you actually haven't reached down and grabbed it. You know, it's going to take that and that energy for you to create what you desire.
Yeah, that's why the burning desire is so important, right? Because it pushes you to actually create the decision, right?
And pushes you past all those people that are controlling you.
Mm-hmm. And that's what pushed us over the fence initially, you know. And it was just a few months later that Nikki saw me going through all this stuff, and she was, you know, my support mechanism. On the side, right? She's a big part of the business, even though she wasn't in the business. She chose to join forces with me in a direct way in March of last year, and our income exploded, right? Our income exploded because we came together, and she made a decision also in line with the one that I already made to help us get to the next level, right? Help us get to the next level to actually get free. You know, when we had that creepy landlord investigating or going through, you know, like her underwear drawer when we were gone, you know, that helped her make a decision to get in with me and for us to unite. What's up, Zeus? Here's our French bulldog. He's saying what's up. Isn't he cute? He's just chilling. He's walking around. He loves the energy. You know, he knows when we're getting pumped and excited. He knows stuff's about to change in a big way for people that are just getting in right now and clicking the button below, right? For those people who are doing that. And, you know, that was a decision too. When you got in, we said enough is enough. We're getting out of this situation. We're gonna create a life where we're not bound by our financial resources, right? Because we don't have to worry about them anymore. We're not bound by what other people think. And that's a decision that we make every single day, right? You make the decision one time, and the entire universe starts to shift around you. And as you continue to choose it every day, in every moment, in every other moment, that's what continues to change things for you, right? So our first 90 days in the business, we ran hard, right? We ran hard because we knew there was all these little moments on top of each other, choosing after we made the decision and put it out there, that created our ability to coast a bit for the last 8 to 10 months. But guess what we're doing now? We're getting back in the field with you, right? We're getting back in the field with you, so that way we can help you do the same exact thing that we did about a year ago, about a year and a half ago when we first got started, right? So what do? We got all in with the vision, right? We went to the first event in Austin, Texas, and it really blew our minds. We saw what the founder was all about. We realized that we were in the right place at the right time. We knew that it was time to change our experience. We knew that this was the vehicle that we could do it in, right? So we chose it. We got all in with the vision, right? We got all in financially, right? We invested in our education with the products that we have to offer at Empower, right? We have everything that you need to succeed in terms of training, right? You want to learn strategies on how to get your videos out on the internet so more people see them? Great, we got that. You want to learn how to blog in 20 minutes a day or less? We got that, right? You want to learn how, like, one of our mentors, Lawrence Tam, you know, went from working full-time as an engineer in his cubicle to breaking free and earning 7 figures in this business? We got that, right? And again, we're talking about income. I don't know if anybody here is just showing up and missed the beginning, but results are not typical. And you can go to empowernetwork.com/income. Check that out if you want. If you want to be average, you can go check that out, or you can click the link bottom of this page. And so we got all that stuff, right? So we chose to get all in financially, invest in our education, right? We got all in emotionally, spiritually, physically. We aligned all of our actions into doing it, and that got us to the third step, which is faith, right? Third step, write this down, faith. And by the way, if you recognize some of these steps, you might realize that we're talking about something that's taught in Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, right? If you haven't read that book, you got to pick it up. I'm going through it again. I learned so much stuff, and I realized that we've been implementing a lot of these things without even knowing it. But now I have a framework for why it worked so well the first time that now I can teach you to do the same, right? We had unwavering faith. So even though, I left working for somebody that was paying us $3,000 a month to pay for all of our utilities and stuff and really maintain the little life that we were living, I gave that up because I had the faith in myself that I was going to do whatever it takes and make it happen, right? It was the faith that drove me, and my desire as well, that drove me through the coming months to create the results that we've done right now. And people talk about faith all the time, but faith is actually one of the easiest things that you can have. Because if you've ever grown a garden before, you know that when you plant the seed, something's going to come up, right? You know that if you water it, something's going to come up, right? You know that if you do the steps and you do what people tell you to do on YouTube, and you follow the little gardening manual, or you do what your mom does because what she tells you to do because she's grown gardens for the last 30 years of her life, you have faith that something's going to sprout, right? And you have faith that there will be a harvest, and you have faith that it will provide for you in every way.
Well, when you were saying that, Abram, imagine planting your seeds and then being like, well, I don't know if this is going to grow. It probably won't, but I'm still going to water it anyway.
It's weird.
It's weird.
It is really weird.
Like, imagine people literally creating, their gardens like that.
Yeah. Or people, why do people go to college?
They'd probably kill their seeds. I mean, they'd probably sabotage their garden.
It probably just wouldn't happen if they had that kind of belief.
Yeah.
Well, and I don't think they'd keep watering them if they really didn't think it was going to happen.
Right, exactly.
Well, I mean, why do people go to college? Because people believe and they have the faith that when they get out, they'll be provided a job that will get them wherever they want to go, right?
Which is a whole
other can of worms we're not going to go into, right? It's like I got my MBA and it didn't really lead to a whole lot, but yet I had faith. If I didn't, I wouldn't have spent $100,000 on an MBA. I wouldn't have gone to 6 years of school, and we certainly wouldn't be right here right now without the faith that we have, right? Which actually leads us to the fourth point. Right, and I told you it was going to start going faster because that burning desire thing is the most important. The fourth thing is the persistence, right, to back up your faith. The persistence is like the actions that you will do to back up your faith, right? It's the watering of the plant every single day, right? It's that when it finally comes harvest time, you'll actually be out there collecting the harvest. Some people, believe it or not, will spend all the time sowing the seeds and watering the plants, and then they're looking at it right in front of them, the harvest. And then something comes up, and they don't go out and pick the brand new flowers. They don't go out and harvest the tomatoes or the potatoes or the carrots that are springing up. Something comes up, and they're not there to receive the harvest, right? You got to harvest too, right? Persistence includes everything along the way, putting in the actions, right? And we're going to teach you the plan. We're going to simplify things and make it super easy, right? More so super simple, right? That's probably more accurate. Super simple for you to run with us in the next 90 days. We have a simple plan for you to apply. If you're persistent, we'll see where it goes, right? If you're persistent, like we were, with all the faith, you made a decision, you've got the burning desire, as Napoleon Hill would say in Think and Grow Rich, you're good to go. you're good to go, And that really leads us into the final two bullet points here, right? Because Napoleon Hill would say that you're good to go. Those aren't his words. Those are my words. In Napoleon, I'm speaking for Napoleon Hill right now. What's up? You're good to go if you have these last two things also, right? So we talked about the burning desire. Talked about making a decision, right? Some of you are making a decision right now to lock arms with us. You don't even know what we're doing, but you just know that we're going somewhere and you want to be a part of it, and you're clicking the button below and joining and just getting in. Right? Some of you are making that decision right now. Some of you are in already, and you're making the decision to get all in. You know, you're making the decision to get to our next event in Charlotte so we can mastermind with you, right? Some of you are now getting faith. Some of you are now becoming more persistent than you've ever been. Now I want to talk about the last two things. Did you have something to say?
I just wanted to ask, did you want to just briefly mention the deal with Charlotte and the Nationals? Because I think some people have been assuming some stuff around that.
So we have these events every 3 months, and recently we had a series of regional events. And some people are treating this thing like, oh, I shouldn't go. I'm just going to wait till Nationals because it's a huge event, and I don't know if I want to pay the money to travel for just a regional. So check this out. The final regional for our company, and the one that you need to be at if you want to run with us in the next 90 days, is in Charlotte. It's at the end of next month. And they're not treating it as a regional anymore. It is a national, because the next time that we'll all be able to get together and meet in person is going to be in like late September or October of this year, right? So if you didn't show up in Seattle and you didn't show up in New Orleans with us this past weekend, get your butts to Charlotte, right? Get your butts to Charlotte, because that's where we get the chance to actually meet you, chat it up with you, break bread, have a good time. You know, you can ask us questions, whatever you want. You can ask the other leaders and millionaire mentors what's working for them, what's not. You get to receive great information and inspiration from the stage and from the people around you. That's where the real gift is, right? Which brings us into point number 5. Okay, and we're going to get into the plan here in a second about how you can run with us in the next 90 days and make this your biggest life-changing 90 days you've ever had in your entire life, right? I believe it's possible because we've done it ourselves, right? The 5th piece of Napoleon Hill's formula is the mastermind, okay? It is the mastermind. And what I like to think is that when I started with Empower Network and it was just me, I was only able to get us so far in the business. And when Nikki fully joined and locked arms, that's when our mastermind began. Because now there were 2 of us, right? When you bring 2 people together, you have 1 mind, 2 minds, and when you come together, you create the 3rd mind, right? And that 3rd mind works tirelessly 24/7 just because you've connected and you're sharing resources, you're sharing ideas back and forth, you're getting each other inspired, right? A mastermind is not possible if you sit at home on your computer all day, right? A mastermind is not possible if you're not willing to meet other people. A mastermind is not possible if you don't go to the events and hang out with people like us, right? And meet some of the other participants that are like starting their journey at the same place that you are right now. You know, you require the mastermind to move forward. You can't do this alone. That's why we're here putting it out there, right? I'll tell you a little bit in just a second about what the mastermind is that we're forming, right? The mastermind that we're forming starting today. It's going to help 10 families break free, right? We're going to crush out $250,000 personally in the next 90 days. It's about to get crazy, right? I'm going to share with you how to become a part of our mastermind moving forward. Cool?
Is this out of place? Or I know one of the things that, and it kind of relates to the thing of like what I can't stand anymore. And you know, we really, you know, even as we've been just like, hey, we're focused on breaking free ourselves, we've also been desiring to be an example of what's possible. So would it be appropriate to just share a few of the things that, you know, because it's not really just about the money.
Sure.
Toss a number out there, but it's like what we've actually been able to do.
Yeah.
Differently because of what we've created. You know, this. Oh, he just tooted. This little like he kind of toots like a human. It's very
French
funny.
bulldogs fart like people. It's crazy.
So yeah, it's like what have we, you know, are we just sitting on our computers all day? You know what I mean? Like, what have we really been able to do different or be different because of what we've created? This almost $250,000 now. We're almost there. We're just shy. And I just wanted to kind of list some things off because I think even when I read, you know, hey, what I can't stand anymore, it actually it might touch on some of that for you guys. So, you know, it's like we're finally able to pay off old debts. Yep. And so that is like, you know, that feeling of that weight on your back, that's going away. We haven't paid out. We're just being really transparent, guys. You know, we haven't paid off all of them because, you know, when you make six figures, there's something called leveraging, you know, and you don't necessarily just want to go and, you know, pay everything off all at once. And that's also what motivates us to create bigger, so that, hey, if we do pay it all off at once, it's not like a big deal. Like, it's just like, phew, you know. And then let's see, we've been able to go to the ocean. We actually took a vacation to Mexico after our third month.
We've actually had two vacations to Mexico since we've been
two vacations, but what I guess you're right. So two vacations. I forgot about the second one, but one was something called the Present Moment Retreat, and this was my fantasy dream vacation, because I'm like, I don't just like to lay on the resort. Like, I wish that there was like that kind of beautiful environment, but where you're also doing something meaningful and really rejuvenating and nurturing. So we had a friend that was doing this retreat where they were teaching dance class, yoga. The retreat center had all this yoga and meditation, and it was a la carte, so you could choose what you wanted every day. We were literally, the place where we did yoga was like this canopy thing, and we could just walk out to the ocean. We could just walk out to the ocean. We went boogie boarding. It was so fun. It was so fun. It wasn't just laying on the beach all day, which might be cool for some people, but it was like, let's move our bodies, let's ride horses, you know, on the beach. Like, it was amazing. It was amazing. And I've traveled before, but I could never do that stuff with the money that I had. I was always, you know, living in a hippie community where we barter, you know, and it's like, there's just things you can't do that way. Speaking of children, you know, if you're a pet lover, you feel like your dog or your cat is your child, right? And as you've seen this little guy, Zeus, you know, we just got him
hey, buddy.
3 months ago?
Yeah, something like that.
3.5 months ago. And we didn't get him, I didn't want to get a pet while I was struggling because, you know, I didn't want to give him that kind of life where I would have to be stingy on food and not be able to feed him what was truly the best.
Right.
The best that I could find out there. And now I can do that. And because we've been able to work at home, we've been able to be with him so much that, I mean, when we go places, people are like, wow, your dog is so well behaved and so calm. So he's actually being almost like a service dog. Like, he's an example for other dogs because he doesn't have the typical like anxiety. You know, dogs get anxious when they're left alone for 8 hours a day.
Yep.
So he's just an awesome little guy. He's turning out so great. What else have we been able? Oh, Abram had a hernia surgery that he needed to have done, which he was just praying. He's just praying, I hope my hernia doesn't burst one of these days because I don't have the money for it. And if I went to the hospital, how many of you guys have situations like that? You just hope, maybe you have some medical condition, you have something that you know is going to need to be taken care of, or you're just like, well, I just hope I don't get, that thing doesn't go off, or maybe it's your car, I just hope that thing in my car doesn't go off because I can't afford to fix it. And, you know, long story short, you know, it's like, when we researched hernia surgeries, a lot of doctors just slap a mesh on there, and I went, no, let me do some research. And it turns out that, you know, 25% of people's bodies reject these plastic things put in their bodies.
And then you gotta have surgery again.
And I'm like, no, we are not doing this. And if you're at the whim of, you know, the healthcare system and health insurance, you'd probably just have to go do, oh, well, I have this doctor, I probably just have to, you know, go do that. We found the one hernia specialist in the country. And we flew out.
That doesn't do mesh.
And he's on a mission to like teach other doctors to not do this method and to really do it naturally, you know. And we went and flew out to this doctor, rented a hotel, stayed there 5-6 days so that he could recover, and had the surgery. You know, it's like that kind of stuff. That kind of thing would have never been possible. Went to Mexico again. We've traveled all around the country. It's just up-leveled our lifestyle. Guys, even little stuff like, well, every time I go to Whole Foods, not every time, but sometimes I just tear up when I'm in Whole Foods Market because 3 years ago I used to go in there and sample stuff, you know, from the bulk aisle, and I would just be like, you know, I just see myself shopping here all the time, every day.
I gotta put him inside this.
Okay,
he's
put him
stuff
inside. He's looking for stuff to eat. So I would just go and look for here. Sorry, guys. Here you go.
Yeah, he's gotta go.
Okay.
He's gotta go.
All right. So Okay. All right. Sorry, guys. So, but hey, pattern interrupt is good. So yeah, I would go in there and I would just look at like all these people that were like having these like $400 grocery bills. I'd be like, how in the heck, like, who are these people? You know, like, how are these people able to afford it? And I used to actually be a cashier at a health food store, and when I would see somebody just spend like, you know, $250, like it was no big deal, I just remember being like, I want this.
Yeah.
I want this for myself. Because there's so many products and things that I would never buy for myself, whether it was a nice lotion or something really organic or a specialty product that was healthier, I wouldn't be able to buy it for myself. And so now when I go and I can buy the best tea, and I sometimes just get teary-eyed out of gratitude that I did this, and that I know other people can do this. And you know, it does start with that desire and that decision and that choice that I'm going to create a different lifestyle. And guys, even guys and women, okay, even something as simple as patio furniture. Has anybody out there gone and gotten patio thinking, I'm just going to get some new lawn chairs and table, you know, umbrella, no big deal, and you go, because you're like, well, it's outdoor furniture, it's not going to be that expensive. And you go and it's like the same price as like buying a new couch. Like it's like over $1,000 to go buy a table and chairs and umbrella, and it's like, I just went a couple days ago and I bought some stuff for a patio.
Our outdoor office.
Our outdoor office. And and it wasn't a big deal, you know, like
Yeah.
How would you like to have that kind of life where it's like what you know is going to contribute to your life is not a big deal. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
You just do it. It's not very significant. It doesn't include a lot of stress. You just go do it. You just go choose it. Like how much more alive is that and joyful is that? You can give yourself that gift, and that way you can contribute to other people's lives more too. It's like
That's right.
we get to go and give great tips. Like I've always been a good tipper because I've been a waitress. Like Abram said, I've had all these different jobs, but now we can go when we feel that urge. We're like, here's a $40 tip. Let's blow this person's mind.
Yep.
And blow open their reality.
Yep.
You know, we get to contribute to friends and family and have fun with it. So that's the kind of stuff that you get to do with money. We get to go shop at the local farmers market and support local agriculture. You know, it's more expensive to go to the farmers market than to go to the cheap store that, you know, you're just buying the pesticide chemical lettuce. You know what I mean? So those are that's like a list. That's the stuff I can think of off the top of my head, guys, of all of some of the stuff that we've been able to do, some of the big stuff we've been able to do with Empower Network.
Well, it's because it's not about the money, right? It's about what you can do.
Yes.
With the money. I think that's the important part, right? That's
Yeah.
the important part to recognize, and that's why you're sharing it.
It's like, aren't you tired of always buying the cheapest thing, and always the thing that's on sale? You know what I mean? You always have to buy the used laptop and the used this and the used that. You know. It's such an amazing, like the first time I got something that was more expensive that was new, I was like, whoa, this feels really good.
Very cool.
And this is more energetic, but we've got a lot of weird sensitive people, and it's like when somebody uses something, it has that person's energy and their magnetic imprint on it. So when you buy clothes and stuff, and this is, I mean, and it's almost like I didn't notice the difference till I started getting new stuff. It carries that you can clean it with incense, if you know, whatever, people do that. You know, I know a lot of hippies are like, well, if I just sage it, it's fine. But it's like it carries their memory, so you're putting on that person's energy when you're wearing their clothes, and you got their stuff.
Or sitting on their couch.
Or sitting on
driving
their
car.
couch. Exactly. You know, so that's just something to look at too. Like, don't you deserve to have the option to be able to buy new when it feels right for you?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
if that, you guys, I just went on a rant, so let me know if that, I'd love to know in the chat roll. Michelle Shine, I love it. She goes, I really want some nice patio furniture.
It's true.
Yes, Michelle.
Yep.
So let me know if that just excited you. I mean, just hearing all the stuff, again, it's not, I just want to talk about me, but like all the stuff that maybe you didn't even think that you were going to do, but maybe it lit up and got you inspired. Let me know if that rant worked for y'all. Tired of working dollar for hour, time for money, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So I want to take the next few minutes to break down the plan for you guys. Right. We have a definite plan We have a way that we're going to get to where we want to go, and we have a way that we can help you get to where you want to go, right? So it's up to you to sort of set your own target. You know, what's freedom cost to you, right? What is your cost of freedom? Like for some people, it's like $2,000 a month. It can allow you to, you know, live in Thailand and live in the laptop lifestyle, right? For some of you, you got a full-time family, you got rent to pay, you got, you know, all sorts of stuff, and it might be, you know, $8,000 or $10,000, right?
Right.
So you have different like costs for freedom. Like what is it going to be? What is that number for you? You want to know what that is, because what we're gonna teach you to do is how to really achieve that. Right, how to really achieve that. So check this out. So we're forming a mastermind, right? We're forming a mastermind, and this is something that's really important because a mastermind is different than a coaching program, right? In a coaching program, you got like one person who knows, or a few people that know some stuff that are like teaching everybody else, right? I'm teaching you, right? Versus a mastermind program, which is we're all teaching each other, right? We're all teaching each other, and there's a give and a take, and like a contribution that's always going on. So we're creating a mastermind here within our community that you can become a part of. So this is how you become a part of the mastermind, and you'll see when I tell you what the qualifications are that when you achieve them, there is no doubt in my mind that you will have something to offer to the rest of the mastermind. There's a reason that we're doing it the way that we're doing it, right? There's a reason we're doing it the way that we're doing it. Obviously, if you want to create magnificent results like we have over the last 18, 19 months, you got to be with us, right? You got to click the button and join if you're not in already. If you're in, but you haven't made the decision to get all in and invest in your education and own all of the core products, that's something that you'll need to do. Right? That's something that you'll need to be able to play at the same level as the rest of the mastermind, right? Same level as the rest of the mastermind. So you'll have to invest in your education, be all in, because you're going to learn stuff, you're going to implement stuff, and you'll have stuff to teach other people. You'll be a contribution to the group, and we can work together, right?
Can you explain what it means to be all in?
To be all in
means physical, tangible level.
Means that when you go in your back office and you look on the left-hand side of the screen, there's an area that says core products. You have to own everything that's in the core products section. Okay? Pretty simple, right? Pretty simple. The second thing that's required to be a part of the mastermind, okay, is that once you're all in, right, you got to get out there, you got to hustle, and you have to generate your first all-in sale, right? We're selling products, we're selling education, right? And I'll know and will know that you're ready for the mastermind when you have created that result, right? I challenge you now to do that. If you've been with us for a little while and you haven't done that yet, I challenge you now to do that. And the reason I challenge you to do that and to become a part of our mastermind is, again, when you've done that, you have an experience that not everybody has had. Right? You have an experience that you can now share and teach from to help with the rest of the mastermind. You're not just sitting idly on the side waiting to be coached and tutored. You've already got your skin in the game, and you've already learned the skills of what it takes to do that, to generate that all-in sale. And we've actually got some ways that we're going to help you do that, right? So check that out. We got some ways that we're going to help you create that first all-in sale. Okay? There's 2 more points. 2 more points. You got to get your ticket to Charlotte, right? Charlotte's at the end of June. You got to have your ticket to Charlotte, or you will not be allowed to be a part of our mastermind. Okay? Pretty simple. Pretty simple. And if Charlotte comes around and you're not there, you're getting das Boot. Okay? Just we're setting the standard for people that want to run 90 days. You've got to be in Charlotte in order to receive the mentoring and training that we have, and the rest of the speakers will have when we're there.
And Abram, can you just get clear too, because we talked about this before the hangout. Is it 10 people in 90 days?
We're helping 10 people get free.
That's what it is. Yeah. So we're helping 10 people get free. We've definitely. How many people have we helped in the?
3 so far.
Okay.
3 so far. We got Sandy Levesque in France, who's moving to the beach of Portugal like this month or next month, something like that, right? She quit her job as a Zumba instructor, and now she's got the laptop lifestyle going on, moving with her dog. Good stuff, right? We got Marianne Tilton, who's using this system and just absolutely, I mean, Marianne, you've been crushing it. Like, you have been killing it. And Marianne's going this summer to Bali to spend time at the orphanage that she's been supporting for, I think, years now, right? To actually meet the kids that she's been helping to support, go there and volunteer her time, because now she has the time freedom to do it.
Yeah.
And she has the funds to do it due to this business, right? Then we have Ashley Webb and Jamie Webb, who uprooted their entire family from Utah and moved down to Costa Rica, right? They're homeschooling their kids. They have the ability to do that because they're earning an income online, right? 3 people already in the last year. We're going to more than triple that in a quarter of the time in the next 90 days. And we want you to be a part of that, right? You know if that's going to be you. Like, you know, you feel it. You might be a little bit nervous. You might be like, I don't know how I'm going to do it. But if that's you, that's exactly where we were a year ago. That's exactly where we were today, making this declaration about what we're going to do. A little bit nervous. You know, we're putting our stuff on the line, you know, being bold, being courageous, being vulnerable, and we're doing it, right? You know if it's for you or not, right? We're just inviting you in, okay? You know, and if you don't want to play at the high level, that's cool too, right? That's cool too. Like, you can play whatever level that you want to do. If you want to go balls to the walls and you want to go all out, this mastermind is for you. If you want to create a massive change in 90 days, this mastermind is for you.
And if you want to have all the stuff that, you know, the stuff that you desire to have, or maybe to really change, like, that part that's like, I just can't stand this anymore. 90 days is a great time frame to really shift that kind of thing. And that's why we're really setting the bar high, because we know from being in this business for over a year now, what's really, like, kind of how people work and what's really required to get people to produce and to have results.
So it's not just about buying a product and getting free coaching and mentoring, right?
Yeah.
It's about you investing in your education and then actually making something happen. So I will get into that in just a second about how we're going to help you make that happen, right? Got some coaching from Lawrence Tam and from David Wood himself this weekend on how we can help you do that, right? The fourth and final requirement for this mastermind, right, is you got to get on tonight's affiliate hangout with David Wood, the founder of Empower Network, right? It's going down at 9 p.m. Eastern, right? 9 p.m. Eastern. You got to be on that hangout, okay? Because there's some massive changes coming with the company that I don't have time to get into with you, but that are going to make these targets that you have twice as easy to achieve, right? If you're somebody that's committed, you're somebody that's going to get in, that you're going to produce and create results, this is going to benefit you greatly. If you're somebody that's coming in with a lottery mentality, you don't have the vision for 90 days from now, you're not willing to have faith and persistence, right, the actions to back it up, this will not benefit you, right? These changes will not work for you because you're still locked, you're still stuck with like a lottery ticket mentality. It's not going to work for you. This business takes work. But we're here to show you, like, how to do it, you know. And I just wanted to finish up that last point where it's like, we have a general mastermind where everybody can participate, right? You gain access to a private mastermind when you click the button below. You join for $25, right? You can see what we have going on, and that's the general mastermind, right? You can play at whatever level you want to play at in there. Get support, get on hangouts like this with us every single week. We'll be teaching you some new skills, some technical stuff, some mindset stuff, everything in between that you need to have a successful business, right? And then again, this elite mastermind is for those who are willing to get in, get all in, take action, make it happen, and get to New Orleans, get to the next event, and run with us, right? So 4 things to be a part of the elite Inner Circle mastermind with Nikki and I, right? Doesn't matter where you are in our organization, okay? You could be down 10 levels, whatever. Got to be all in, right? Got to invest in your education. You got to bring in your first all-in sale, at least. You got to meet us in Charlotte, okay, for the event at the end of June. And you got to get on the hangout tonight with Dave Wood, because the information that he's going to share with you will coincide with the plan that we're going to give you right now. So I know that's for 90 days. So we took the time to lay things out this way because you need to know the stuff that we talked about in order for the plan to work. So here's our commitment to you. Here's our dedication to you, right? We made a decision today to stop making weenie targets and goals. I'll be honest. It was weenie, right? It was weenie. The second that we went big, right, was the second that we were like, wow, this is even more exciting, right?
And it shows because there's more people attending today's hangout. You know.
Great question. Linda Hobson, do you have to be personally on our team? Yes. Yes, we're working with people that are directly tied to us in our lineage, in our genealogy downline. You just have to find a mentor in your upline who's willing to run with you in the same way, right? So this is for our internal team. That's the benefit of joining with us and running with us for the next 90 days. And so the plan, right? So the plan. I want to make this super simple for you, right? If you're not in, get in. Click the button below. Join us. Become a part of our mastermind, right? Right? That's the first step. Get to the affiliate hangout tonight, which you'll get an email for. When you join, David Wood's going to send out an email later to all affiliates. So you have to get in. You have to be a part of the affiliate program as well. I think it's $19.95 a month to become a part of the affiliate program, right? So you can get your business started today for as little as like $44.95. It's pretty crazy, And then again, you can invest in your education, get all in with us if you want to go big. And so beyond that, here's what I want you to do. Next week, right, we're going to be here in the same time, same place. And imagine you making a decision to run with us and bringing 10 people to this hangout this next week, right? What would that do for your business? What would that do for your business if they came here and got the information that you got today and made the decision to join like people are making the decision to join right now? What would that do for your business? Because I can almost guarantee, and of course you can't guarantee anything, but you get enough people to come hang out with us, we'll help you bring people into your business on these weekly hangouts. We're going to be bringing out some big guests, right? I can't say for sure we're getting in a lockdown, but I think next week we're going to have somebody on the hangout that's earned almost $400,000 in the last 2 years with this system, right? Coming to teach you the goods, right? And then helping you bring in new members at the same time, right? So imagine that and set your target now. Next week, be here. Promote the next event, which is this event, 5 p.m. Eastern, Thursdays, every Thursday. Bring 10 people here. And if you have no problem getting 10, bring 25. You have to stretch yourself. It's as easy as just, if you got to text a friend, or you got to message them on Facebook, or you got to send a few emails out, or talk to your coworkers by the good old the water fountain, right? The water bowl. Do it. Bring people here, and people will see the vision. They'll get inspired. They'll become a part of the movement. It's huge, right? So that's the first objective of the plan. These hangouts every week are going to get bigger and bigger and bigger as we come together, right? And we're going to be bringing out you, the rising stars, the people who are becoming a part of the elite mastermind, people who are producing, the people who are all in, the people that are getting to Charlotte. They're going to be on this training as well, teaching you what they know to help you rise up and create the freedom that you want in the next 90 days, right? So that's the first thing. Bring 10 people here next week. Make it a priority. It doesn't matter how you do it. Just do it, right? Second thing is there were new Fast Start training videos released yesterday for everybody who's an affiliate of our system. 8 or 9 videos created by David Wood himself that blow the lid off of the eight videos that were there before. There's stuff in there. I had a member earlier today, shout out Tana J. She said, I just went through the videos, and some of the high-ticket programs that are available inside of Empower Network, the information is in those Fast Start training videos, which you get access to for 25 bucks, right? Go through them, right? Again, 10 people to the next hangout, go through the Fast Start training videos, right? And we'll probably get into this stuff more in the future. I think the hangout's going a little bit long, but we're going to tell you soon.
We're only 5 minutes over what you said.
Sure. For anybody working directly with us,
this is exciting.
This is exciting, right?
I was wondering if you were going to mention this. Okay.
Yeah, you egged me on to doing it and saying it here. So here's how we're going to help you. People that are getting all in, that want to become a part of our elite mastermind, if you're directly sponsored by us, meaning you signed up with Nikki and I, we will get on the phone with you and your new member, okay? And we will help coach your new member while you're on the phone and show you how the upsell process goes, right? How to help that person go as fast or as slow as they want to go so that you can earn commissions and that you could potentially get your first all-in commission, right? Good stuff. You'll get the training hands-on while we're helping you directly and your brand new member for you to turn around and be able to do the same thing with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, would that not be a huge help for your business? Comment below if you think that's going to be a huge help for your business, right? If you're not directly sponsored by us, that's okay, because guess what? We're going to be training your sponsor who's directly tied to us, right, on how to do this stuff, right? And they're going to take it and they're going to pass it along to you as well, right? Right? We're a giving community. This is the new platform that we're going to be functioning from. That's how we're going to do it.
Is that also why it's super important that people are on the Hangout tonight?
That is super important for why people are on the Hangout tonight, because a lot of the stuff you might be thinking, well, why would you do that? You know, and a lot of stuff is going to click when you get on the Hangout tonight and you're listening to Dave Wood and he's breaking down the plan. You're going to see why we're giving you these things to do, why they're going to make so much more sense when you hear what David Wood has to share, why it's going to work for you and be in your best interest to just do these simple things every week in order to build your business. We're building together, my friends.
Because the structure of Empower and how things are laid out is changing, and it's in a great way. It's in a great way because we're even more incentivized we're going to be more incentivized to help the newbie.
Yep.
So it's going to work better for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not really, if you don't attend tonight, you're going to miss that. And there are certain things. I know that we've said before, well, it's important to attend the Empower Hour, and it's important to attend all the, as much as you can. This really is one of those hangouts that's like, if you don't attend, you might as well be kind of like, I don't know, farting around, sitting on the side. It's just kinda,
you don't want to be a part of the elite
then
mastermind.
You don't want to be part of the, then you're saying I don't want to be part of the elite mastermind.
Which is cool. We still love you.
We still love you.
But we're looking for people, we're also looking specifically for people to run with.
Exactly.
Right. Last thing is, if you're not direct to us, the plan is for this entire team to be producing on such a level that it will make it worth our time to do something monthly, or I'm sorry, weekly. Where I don't know the numbers yet. Maybe if the whole team is bringing in 25 new members a week or something like that. We'll finalize this later. We'll do like a weekly sort of like mini hangout, like a new member coaching session, where we'll help you upsell your new members. So what do you got to do, right? You got to just bring people in. You got to send them to these weekly hangouts, right? You can share this replay as soon as we end this. You can actually turn around and share this replay on Facebook. Like we're gonna do that as soon as we hang up here. It'll take a few minutes. YouTube does its thing, does some YouTube magic, and then it posts the video right away, right where it is. And you can share this hangout with people, right? Come back next week. Bring more people. Start producing. We'll find ways to help lift you up, right? To help lift you up. And so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna help 10 people, 10 new people, break free in the next 90 days, right? Whatever free means to you.
Maybe you're not a new member, but maybe you put your business on the back burner, but you're a new person now because you're connecting with your desire and you're making that choice and decision and you're ready to move forward. We don't hang on to the past. We're actually one of these people that's like, if I had a weird altercation with someone or like a weird conversation or, I'll have this thing where I'm like, 2 years later I'm like, hey, what's up? And then there's this weird thing and I'm like, oh, they're hanging on to this weird thing that happened 2 years ago. Like, I don't remember conversations that happened a year ago. I don't, if you've been around for a while and you're like, I'm doing this, Nikki, I'm not going to say, yeah, right, because over the past 6 months they weren't doing anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't look at people that way. So just know that we're, as your sponsors, we're willing to see you with fresh eyes. And the thing is, when you, like Brittany says, she's like, man, you guys have stepped it up and I can feel it. So if she's feeling it, when you step up, we're going to feel it, and we're going to have faith in that, and we're going to have faith in you. So know that, too, and we've already got at least two people declaring they're going to be one of the 10.
Who are those?
Sandy Levesque.
Sandy Levesque.
And I want to make sure that I get R. Gabriel Smith.
Robin, what's up, Robin? Cool.
Robin, okay.
So we got at least 2 people that want to run.
Yeah.
Right? So we're looking for 8 more people. Let's do this thing.
Yeah.
I got a quick story for you at the end, but I just want to recap. This is a good story, right? It's a quick one too. I can tell it to you in about 60 seconds. So if you want to be a part of our elite mastermind moving forward for the next 90 days, right, and beyond, you got to be all in. You got to invest in your education, right? You got to own all the core products. You got to be able to create your first all-in sale, selling the products that we have to sell,
and
right?
I'm just going to caveat. The reason for that is that we realize we can't really mastermind with people who aren't moving.
Correct.
And a mastermind has a level of reciprocity there. It's not just us. Coaching is, I'm going to hold your hand, all this stuff. We have Lawrence as that's different than a mentor and a mastermind. It's like, we have Lawrence, and he's like, dude, you guys want to mastermind stuff? That's cool. But he doesn't sit there and go, you guys need help with, how to put together a Facebook ad. No. So in a mastermind, everybody's contributing
Yeah.
to creating something greater. It's
Yep.
not just on us. You know, we're there as mentors because we've gone further, but it's not just on us. So that's why you got to get your first on sale so that you are already moving forward, and then we can help you catapult you to the next level.
Yep.
Keep going.
Got to have your ticket to Charlotte, and you got to be there, right? You got to be there. If you don't show up, boom, das
Got to
boot.
attend the whole event too.
Gotta attend
not
the
just,
event.
I'm attending Friday and I'm leaving.
Exactly. And then you got to get on the affiliate hangout tonight with Dave Wood, right? It's going to be
the whole
huge
company's changing.
because what we're teaching you now will not make it will make tons of sense. You'll be just as fired up and pumped up as we are when you hear the information that we heard in New Orleans this weekend.
And that's
right?
part of why we're so fired up and why Abram stepped up his goal and his dreams is because of this change that Dave Wood is bringing.
Yep.
And then can we just clarify, because I think this could be number 5.
My battery's going to die.
Being in the direct downline, or direct to us. Do we put that in there?
We'll get there, you
We'll
guys.
get there,
We'll be
guys. We don't
posting
wanna
some more
overwhelm you
stuff in
in
the
the
Facebook group
Yeah.
soon. And if you haven't gotten started, get started with us, right? And if you've been with us for a while, I want to give you a message of hope. Okay? This is something I learned from Mark Hoverson, who's a champion, really, in this industry, a guy who's made like 8 figures in a year, direct sales. And he made his metaphor for this business, and he said, you know what? It's like Major League Baseball or the NFL or like whatever big sports thing you can think of, right? There's the leaders and the people who are out there producing, and they're the players on the field, right? And then there's all the fans that are watching things happen, right? Maybe they've just joined the program. Maybe they've been around for years and they're watching and they're paying for their products. They're still learning stuff. They show up at the events. They're cheering the leaders on, right? Difference is in the real world, the people in the stands will never become the players in the field, right? But the industry that we're in right now, at any moment, if you've been the fan, you can suit up, put your helmet on, and jump in the game and start playing with the big boys and the big girls, right? This is the only place in the world that you can do it. We're blessed. It's time to shine. Come with us for the next 90 days. Really cool stuff is going to happen. I know that when we go and you come with us, we're going to create something that is going to surprise the hell out of all of us at the end of 90 days. I hope to see you all in. I hope to see you in. I hope to see you all in. I hope to see you succeeding in ways you haven't been before. And I look forward to seeing you in Charlotte next month and on the Google Hangout tonight for affiliates only with Dave Wood. If you're not in, click the button below. Get in. Appreciate you guys. Let's do this thing. Bye for now.
Bye.